The German invasion of France in 1940, known as the Battle of France or the Fall of France, was a stunning display of Blitzkrieg warfare that led to the rapid collapse of French defenses and the occupation of much of Western Europe. Lasting from May 10 to June 25, 1940, this campaign resulted in the defeat of France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg by Nazi Germany, forcing the British Expeditionary Force, BEF, into a desperate evacuation at Dunkirk. The invasion marked the end of the Phony War, a period of relative inactivity following Germany's conquest of Poland in 1939, and propelled Europe deeper into World War II. In just 6 weeks, German forces overran Allied positions, capturing Paris and compelling France to sign an armistice that divided the country into occupied and unoccupied zones. This victory bolstered Adolf Hitler's strategic position, shifting focus to Britain and setting the stage for further aggression. The background to the invasion was rooted in the interwar period's geopolitical tensions. After World War I, France constructed the Maginot Line, a formidable network of fortifications along its eastern border with Germany, to deter future invasions. However, this defensive strategy left gaps, particularly in the Ardennes forest, which French military leaders like Philippe Pétain deemed impassable for large-scale mechanized forces. Germany's remilitarization under Hitler, including the annexation of Austria and Czechoslovakia, heightened fears, but Allied appeasement policies delayed confrontation. When Germany invaded Poland on September 1, 1939, France and Britain declared war, but the ensuing Phony War saw limited action, with France's Saar offensive quickly withdrawn. Allied planning centered on the Dial Plan, Plan D, which involved advancing into Belgium to meet the anticipated German thrust through the Low Countries. A variant included the French 7th Army pushing to Breda in the Netherlands. However, Belgian and Dutch neutrality complicated coordination until the invasion began. On the German side, initial plans for Fall Gelb, Case Yellow, envisioned a frontal assault through Belgium, but Hitler demanded a bolder approach. Erich von Manstein and Heinz Guderian proposed concentrating panzer divisions for a surprise breakthrough in the Ardennes, aiming to encircle Allied forces in a sickle cut to the English Channel. This plan was adopted after the Mechlin incident in January 1940 exposed earlier versions. Fall Rot, Case Red, would follow to mop up southern France. The invasion launched on May 10, 1940, with German forces under Army Group B, Fedor von Bock, attacking the Netherlands and Belgium as a feint, while Army Group A, Gerd von Rundstedt, drove through the Ardennes. Paratroopers seized key sites like Fort Eben-Emael in Belgium, and the Luftwaffe quickly established air superiority, destroying much of the Belgian and Dutch air forces. The Allies, commanded by Maurice Gamelin, advanced per Plan D, but German panzers reached the Meuse River by May 12th. The Battle of Sedan on May 13th saw intense Luftwaffe bombing, over 3,940 sorties, enabling crossings despite French resistance. By May 15th, Prime Minister Paul Reynaud telegraphed Winston Churchill, admitting defeat as panzers broke through. Key events unfolded rapidly. On May 14th, the Netherlands surrendered after the bombing of Rotterdam. Guderian's 19th Panzer Corps advanced westward, reaching the Channel at Abbeville on May 20th, trapping Allied forces in a pocket around Dunkirk. A controversial halt order from Hitler on May 24th allowed the BEF and French troops to evacuate. Operation Dynamo rescued 338,226 soldiers by June 4th, though much equipment was abandoned. Belgium capitulated on May 28th under King Leopold III. Fall Rot commenced on June 5th, with Germans crossing the Somme and Aisne rivers. Paris fell on June 14th, declared an open city to avoid destruction. Italy declared war on June 10th, invading the Alps but achieving little. The French government fled to Bordeaux, and armistice negotiations began on June 18th. The second armistice at Compiègne was signed on June 22nd, effective June 25th. German strategy revolved around Blitzkrieg, fast, coordinated strikes using tanks, motorized infantry, and air support to disrupt enemy command and encircle forces. Leaders like Erwin Rommel, 7th Panzer Division, exemplified this with rapid advances, such as 48 km a day. The Luftwaffe, under Hermann Göring, flew thousands of sorties for close air support. Allied tactics, hampered by poor communication and static defenses, failed to adapt. Gemelin was replaced by Maxime Weygand on May 19th, who attempted hedgehog defenses and counterattacks, but lacked reserves. French tanks like the Saumur S-35 were superior individually but dispersed and radio deficient. Major battles highlighted the disparity. The Battle of Hanut, May 12-13, was history's largest tank clash, with French forces destroying 160 German tanks but retreating. At Gembloux, May 14-15, French artillery repelled panzers. The Battle of Arras, May 21, saw British Matildas briefly halt Rommel, influencing the Dunkirk halt. In Fallrot, battles along the Maginot Line, June 5-12, delayed but didn't stop the Germans. The Siege of Lille, May 25-31, allowed French rearguards to cover evacuations. The Battle of Stonne, May 15-17, changed hands 17 times. Forces involved were massive. Germany deployed 141 divisions, 2,445 tanks, 5,638 aircraft, and 3.3 million troops. Allies had 135 divisions, over 3,183 tanks, fewer than 2,135 aircraft, and similar troop numbers, but suffered from logistical issues. Casualties were stark. Germany lost 27,074 killed, 111,034 wounded, and 1,236,1,428 aircraft. The consequences were profound. The armistice created Vichy France under Pétain, collaborating with Germany until full occupation in 1942. Charles de Gaulle's appeal of June 18th from London founded the Free French movement. Britain faced invasion threats, leading to the Battle of Britain. France endured occupation until liberation in 1944 via Operations Overlord and Dragoon. The defeat exposed Allied strategic flaws, boosted German confidence, promoting 12 field marshals, and reshaped the war, contributing to millions of deaths across Europe. It remains a cautionary tale of underestimating innovative warfare and the perils of rigid defense.